Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my reroll video for Wuthering Waves. This is mostly just pre-release thoughts and plans, how to do it. I will not be showing you any gameplay. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what you need to do. Just play the game until you can do the rolls, pretty much. We'll talk about it a bit more later. Now, before we start, I just wanted to quickly note that do whatever makes you happy. And whatever makes more sense to you. If you like rerolling like me, then by all means go reroll. If you don't, and you feel like the process is too long or whatever other point people make, then don't reroll. That's as simple as that. Just do whatever makes you happy. Don't want to reroll, you can quit the video and not reroll. It's really up to you. Okay, so with that out of the way, when you go to the main website, you can click the sign up button here and then register now. It will open a new window with the registration. You can also pre-download the game already if you still didn't do it or you don't know. Now, once you get the registration window, normally you would use the salted method with +1. And you can still create an account with +1. However, the problem is that you cannot log into it. So when you go here and you type your email, right, and you do +1, and when you click the sign in, and do this, it will tell you invalid email format. So you can still create the account, but you cannot log into it. Now, there is a workaround or trick that I learned in other games that I rerolled for that also had a protection like that. There's another method you can use that is the same as salted one. And the method is you just use a dot. So when you create your account and you add a dot between your characters, it will be treated as a new email and it will be sent to your original email. That way you can do exactly the same what salted ones do, which is create multiple accounts using only one email, right? The rule here is you cannot put a dot before your email and you cannot put a dot after your email. However, you can put dots between characters. You can put, for example, like this, and each can be a new instance, right? With each dot added. You can also add multiple dots, which also will count as a new instance. So in theory, you can go infinitely on the accounts. And to prove to you that it works, I'll put a dot here. When I click sign in, it will tell me that account is not registered. That means we bypassed the security measure, right? It doesn't tell you that it's invalid anymore. Now, this method still works as of this video. I created an account like 30 minutes ago, and it worked. And the salted one that I created did not work. So, yeah, that's the trick. Now, onto the reroll itself. I will be utilizing the post here from the user ArchFate on Reddit. He did early reroll plans. I will be borrowing it a little bit and giving it my own twist and recommendation, basically. So he wants to go for just the regular banner reroll, which on day one is pretty much the only thing you can do. Doing the rate up reroll on day one is really brutal. I do not recommend it. So it will honestly depend when you're watching this video and when you're planning on doing reroll. If it's in the future, then this process might be easier for you and make more sense as well, because different unit is on a rate up, for example. So yeah, it will really depend when you're doing the reroll. But let's pretend you're day one, aka worst case scenario. So if you want to go for the guaranteed 5-star, with your guaranteed, to guarantee it and finish the standard banner, you will actually have to spend some premium currency, some asteroids. You will have to buy 7 of them, aka you will have to do some quests here, do like the parkour event, for example, do the share SNS event, and you will get some of them from like tutorial quests, union level stuff that you would do regardless, right? So the only additional stuff you do is the character trial, the share SNS event, and then parkour event. Now, I personally don't like spending premium currency on non-premium pools, so that to me is not a valid way. Like, I will not be doing that. It's only 7 pools, but I don't know. I just hate using the premium currency, especially as a free-to-play. Like, every pool really matters, so I don't really recommend it. But if you really want to get all your 40 pools on day 1, then fine, do it. But at this point, I would just wait for day 2 if I were you, because on day 2 you will get a 10 pool in mail, which will make it so you don't have to do the asteroids anymore. So as you can see, the total pools prior to day 2 is 33 out of 40. You'll get 10 on day 2. So you'll have actually 3 extras, so you probably will be able to ignore one of the steps here. And you'll be able to finish your banner. So really up to you. What I recommend on day 1 is, and even day 2, is go a little greedy and try doing 30 pools instead. So instead of 50, do 30 pools. You will get 20 pools from pre-registration and 1 from logging in, so that's 21 pools. Because the banner is discounted, meaning you will need 8 pools to do a 10 pool, that means we need 24 pools to do 30 pools, right? So that's 21, and then after you do your first 2 10 pools, you should have enough to buy the remaining 3 pools from the shop using corals. So that way you'll be able to very quickly do your 30 pools, and you won't have to do any of those steps other than just do the main story until you can do the pools. That is what I recommend. I think that will be the quickest and like least bumpy road to do. But then again, you are counting on getting a 5-star drop in those 30 pools. That is not guaranteed, so that like might take additional rerolls. Again, it depends what you want, right? If you want a guaranteed 5-star and you just, that's all you want, then I would probably wait till day 2 and then do those steps of collecting chests and Sonan's caskets to get the union level and merchant level, and then with that you will have enough to do your guaranteed. So that's for the regular banner. Now for the premium banner, you will have to actually wait till day 3. That's the only real way you can do rerolls. With the asteroid you get, with some gameplay, you can probably squeeze in another 10 pull, so maybe you can do like 20 pull reroll, but it will definitely take time. So if you don't want to do any gameplay, then on day 3 you can technically do 1 10 pull, but it's gonna be brutal. It's not gonna be fun. I can already tell you that much. So really up to you if you want to go for it. Now the character, obviously it will depend, right? Right now it will be Genian, and if you want to wait for someone else, or you're doing the rerolling in the future, the process might look different and the character might be way more worth it. So again, up to you. If I will be doing rerolls and I'm still not sure, I will probably do the 30 pull route. The beginner banner, from the information I have, is if you actually get a 5-star before the guaranteed, the banner will end and it will give you the next banner. So technically you're kind of saving pulls that you can instead invest into the regular banner So there is, I guess, a little bit of positive if you do the 30 pulls and you actually do get a 5-star during those, because then you will have those extra pulls to use on the regular banner, right? So you'll be able to quickly or quicker reach the pity. So really up to you how you want to do it. Yeah. Okay, now onto the characters you can actually reroll for. So for the regular banner, well, let's start with rate up banner actually. So for the rate up banner, obviously, you would be rerolling for rate up character. Again, it will be either in the future or day 3. And the rate up character, it will all depend, right? Again, Jian is on the banner on release, and Yinlin will be in 3 weeks, I think, from release. So there are some options there, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You know what you're signing up for with the premium reroll. Now for the most likely reroll, which is of the regular 5 stars, there's 5 of them. Verena, Calcharo, Anchor, Jianjin, and Lingyang. Now, out of those 5, I cannot speak about 2 of them because they already were confirmed that they will be changed on release by the developers. So Lingyang and Jianxin, both of those units will be changed in some way, so we don't know how good those characters are really. So it's kind of hard to evaluate them if they're worth rerolling or not. Honestly, it will depend like how good they are after the release and what you're looking for in characters. Obviously, if you like their design or gameplay, go for it, right? Just go for it. Pick whatever is fun, right? That's the main purpose. Now, ignoring those 2 characters, the most likely scenario will be rerolling for either of those 3 units for most people. Now, Verena is my definitely number 1 pick, and the reason is if you will be doing the Tower of Adversity, which is basically Abyss equivalent from Genshin, for your currency and stuff, you will need 3 teams, and having a support will definitely be a big value in one of those teams. But also that means that even if better supports come out in the future, for her to not be relevant, you will have to release at least like 3 better supports than her to push her out, which that will take a lot of time, right? Until we reach that point. So in my opinion, Verena will be relevant for pretty long time, honestly. So she gives you heals, she gives you revive, she gives you follow-up damage when she's off field. She also gives a bunch of damage and attack to your party members, and she doesn't really need much on-field time. Like, it's very short. So there's a lot of good things with her. I personally don't really care about healing that much. Not in this type of game where doing the DPS is probably like the most important thing, since everything for the most part is timed from like endgame PvE stuff. But yeah, she gives damage and that is big, and she doesn't need much field time, so she's really, really good support. Definitely number 1 pick for reroll. Now, Kalchara and Anchor, both are pretty much similar. Both are DPS characters. So this one, it will basically depend on like what you're looking for, right? You can watch both of their gameplays. If you care about the Yinlin, maybe consider getting Kalcharo, because Yinlin and Kalcharo go well together. So there's definitely a reason to go for him. Then you will have a banger team, right? If you could get Kalcharo and Yinlin and then get Verena as third, you will have a pretty solid, probably meta team, I would imagine, on release. So yeah, that's one of the things to consider. Anchor, ranged character, which is nice, and in her ulti, you'll feel like a parry god. So there's definitely some positive things. Also, because she's ranged character, she has better DPS windows than other units, right? Like a lot of melee units will have to be standing in the boss, and some boss mechanics prevent you from actually like doing the damage, but because she's ranged, she might be able to still attack the enemy while they're doing their mechanic, right? So there might be some instances where Encore will be able to do the DPS still while the melee characters will not, so that's the range is also something to consider. So yeah, those are basically the characters. After you finish your normal banner, you will have another banner, which is a selector banner. You will be able to select one of those 5 characters, and you will be just doing regular banner pulls until you get them, and it's guaranteed that you will get the rate up unit you selected. So the main goal of rerolling really is to like get the 2 characters you want from the banner, right? So let's say the random one you got Verena, then you can basically choose like, I just want a DPS. Now you can choose on the second banner, I'm going for Encore or I'm going for Kalchara, for example. Maybe with changes you want to go for Lingyang or Janshin. You have some options, right? So that is the main reason why you would reroll. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All I wanted to cover. Again, do whatever makes you happy and whatever is fun to you. Same with the characters. I don't think the meta stuff will be as important in this game because it will basically come down to skill at the end of the day for the most part. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Let me know who you're rerolling for and if this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.